Paw'dCats Sports.
Paw'dCats.
Hey, yo, Cats fans.
Hey, top of the morning to you there, Al the Wildcat.
We are no longer in Ireland.
Oh, must have had too many Guinnesses. My bad.
Get that nonsense out of here.
Yeah, we're going to put that behind us. That's in the past, and we're ready to move to the future.
So last week we crossed oceans. This week we cross a line. Kansas State fell short in Dublin 24-21 in a game that stung deeper than the Irish rain. But now we are back in the bill, and this turf doesn't forget. The bounce back starts here. Avery Johnson showed flashes. The defense brought heat, but missed chances, and mental lapses left us hungry. This Saturday, it's about reclaiming identity, resetting our mindset, and reminding the Big 12 who runs Manhattan. We've got bold predictions, injury updates, a full breakdown of how Chris Klieman and the coaching staff plan to flip the script, and how the players are blocking out the noise, and how the fan base is rallying after the Dublin fallout.
Amen, brother. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. K-State fans!
Are you ready?
Bring on the cats.
Well, Alex, how's your hangover? I mean, are you doing okay coming off this week 0 disappointing loss?
I was doing all right up until about last night, and then I saw some other teams play, and they looked quite a bit better than we did, and Iowa State did, so it makes me a little nervous on how good we actually are, but I think our defense is still pretty damn good.
Yeah, we'll get into that. It's 13 minutes till 11 o'clock on Saturday, and we're getting ready to kick off this Texas-Ohio State game. So just for context, last night we saw KU and a few other teams play, of course, on Friday.
Yes, sir.
All the high school teams play on Friday, right?
My high school team is actually playing tonight at 6 p.m.
And the Jayhawks?
Yeah.
Real college teams play on Saturday. We probably have a Friday game on the schedule. Anyway, let's get to it.
We do.
Let's not waste time.
All right. First question, Benny. Avery
Ready.
Johnson had a 70% completion rate and 273 yards last week. What's his ceiling against North Dakota's returning secondary?
No reason why he can't go for 70% plus again. I don't expect a high volume of passes, but I do expect a few explosive plays against this defense. Look for that at the bill today. 70%, that's passing in class, right? But it's just average. Let's see if we can get closer to 80 or 90. Not unthinkable. Playing North Dakota, weakest team on the schedule.
Yeah, I think 80% would be pretty good. I'm looking for 300 yards, especially with Dylan Edwards out.
Yeah, and on the floor, I wouldn't if he's going under 60, that's big red flags.
Yes.
The passing game's already suspect, so that's what we got to prove, that we can throw the ball downfield consistently and make sure we have consistent play calling, more importantly, from the sidelines, from the adults. Avery's going to bounce back, and he had a great game in Dublin. Not a great game, but a sufficient game.
Okay, who's the X factor on defense? Toby Osunsami with his 2 sacks, or Donovan McIntosh with 8 tackles and 2 pass breakups? Or do you have someone different?
McIntosh and Toby, big games again today. Toby's on pace for 30 sacks. If we play 16 games, that'll be 32. Let's get to 4 today. 44. 2 more.
I like it, but I'd like to see Donovan McIntosh. I'll be on his side today. Donovan McIntosh, I thought he had a great first game. Maybe that one play, he needs to stick to his man a little more, but I don't think anybody's going to outrun him in today's game. Another guy, obviously, that I want to be the X factor is DJ Payne.
About to ask you about that one. Your boy.
Yeah,
He
he needs to be a leader on that defense. He needs to take a step up, and he needs to show that he is the best player on this defense.
Yeah, I look for Austin Romaine to have a big day, of course. Middle linebacker. He'll be filling gaps, and North Dakota's going to try to establish the run, but they won't.
All right, if Dylan Edwards returns, which we know he is not,
He is not playing.
onto offensive efficiency adjustments.
Do you think, by the way, before we skip that, probably high ankle sprain? It's going to be out indefinitely, it looks like, through non-conference play. Speculating, of course. Haven't heard much about it. But I try to stay off the socials, kids.
Yeah, I told you when we were watching the game that I thought it looked like he had planted his leg in the ground.
Yeah.
And something had happened. So I'm speculating, assuming that it's going to be a high ankle sprain. Hopefully, nothing worse. Like I said, I think in the post game, I think he'll be back by Arizona.
Yeah, Army lost last night, so that's probably a good game plan. Give him a few more weeks out. We should be able to, give some carries to Joe Jackson and, of course, the freshman third stringer that had a few unexpectedly last week. So that'll be nice. Guys performed. Hopefully we take care of the ball, and Jackson will, have a big day without any turnovers or any fumbles for that matter.
Yeah, and really quickly on the injury update, I think it's going to look about the same as last week. We're not going to see any of those guys like Lincoln Cure, McAllister.
Correct.
Some others doubtful would be Asa Newsome and Malcolm Alcorn Crowder. So if you do see anyone, it could be those two guys. Having Asa Newsome back would be huge because when he is on the field, I think he is pretty elite.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that defense perform today with the crowd behind them and the excitement. Should be a good day for the mob.
K-State struggled with third down conversions, 5 of 13, and fourth down, 1 of 4 versus Iowa State. So what are we looking for in this game?
Well, we need improvement, obviously. That was one of the key points we talked about in the lead up to Farmageddon. If I'm allowed to use that term anymore. But yeah, we should not get to fourth down situations where we have to go for it on fourth down. Unless we're deep into their territory, it's 4th and 1, and we're just trying to prove to ourselves that we can overcome our mistakes last week. If we go for it on 4th and long again in our own territory this season, I might throw something at the wall and break it. It's not going to be pretty. There will be a lot of cuss words that me and God and the poor foster dogs are going to have to listen to. So let's not do that again. All right. But yeah, we got to improve. Third down, we'll be looking at those third downs, and maybe we'll just hit big plays and score early and often, and we won't have to worry about that today.
Yeah, and obviously we don't want to be going for it on fourth down at all this game. We want to push that 5 out of 13 to somewhere more around 50% or over.
Take the points, be confident that you can beat them, and give your boy a chance to kick some field goals in a live game situation.
Luis!
Elrod?
Elrod? Yeah, Elrod. No, don't throw up L's, dude.
Dubs?
No L's. Don't throw up any L's.
Elrod kicks for dubs. Kicks for dubs.
So,
nothing but dubs.
Famous Winston. I'm eating those dubs.
Yeah, let me get my other hand over here. There we go. All right, on to the next point.
All right, look for more motion and misdirection to free up Avery Johnson's dual threat ability. Expect quicker reads and slants to wide receivers like Jace Brown and Jaron Bradley to avoid long developing plays.
I agree. I think we should hit the ball to the edges quick and test those corners out there and those the secondary on the edges for the Dakota defense. The North Dakota defense. But, and look for some jet sweeps and some misdirections, a lot of eye candy stuff we were trying to do last week that we probably had set up for Dylan, and now we've had a week to rep that with Joe. So, looking for that. Let's get on the edges. Let's beat them. Or, hammer it up the middle and improve ourselves too.
All right, coaching adjustments.
Need them. Needed. Always needed. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. Always needed.
Benny, how does Chris Klieman's 5-0 record versus FCS teams and his North Dakota State pedigree shape his approach here?
I don't think it does. I mean, he probably knows a little bit. I'm sure they've watched the film and they've seen North Dakota a little bit, but
he's played them before.
This is a practice. It should be. And if it's not, then it's going to be a real long season. But we should put up 40 plus, 50 plus would be better to build our confidence, and no more than 10 to 14 on the board on the other side.
Yeah,
But
piggybacking off of that, if we don't score, I'd say at least like 35, at least
yeah,
35, and it's time to be concerned a little bit.
I would agree.
Um,
Um, I don't know if
depending
we're gonna.
on
I don't know if
how
we're gonna show out of the playbook, and that just reminded me that 35 number you mentioned of the North Texas game in 2012. And we didn't play great that day, but we weren't trying to show the playbook either.
I I don't care. We got to put it on them. We
Yeah,
open everything up. Who cares if you want to show the playbook or not, man? Like if
right.
you
I
can win,
agree.
if you're better, then you win these games.
I agree. And you saw what happened last night with Colorado, and Dion mentioned it at halftime when they interviewed him that they got to put up points, and that's why they lost that game. That offense was stolen out, and they put up 24. So,
Yeah,
Big 12 looked real suspect last night. Not good. Cincinnati, we could have used that dub over Nebraska, didn't get it, and Baylor took the L at home, of course, to Auburn.
yes, sir. What tweaks do you expect in offensive play calling after going 5 of 13 on third down?
Well, hopefully nobody's tweaking on offense today. I would expect better conduct in the locker room before the game. But tweaks on third down, we need to be more creative. And in spite of the fact that we're playing North Dakota, we know that one of our weaknesses is the offensive line. And until we can prove ourselves up front on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to need to be more creative on third and shorts and try to avoid fourth and shorts at all costs. Unless we're deep inside their territory in the red zone, we just feel like we need to punch it in. Give Louis a chance, and of course, don't put yourself in those situations.
Luis.
Luis.
Yeah, I'm thinking we just need to pass more
Rodriguez.
to our tight ends. Braden Lofton, Garrett
Utilize
Oakley.
him.
Get
Yeah.
more Braden Lofton in there. Garrett Oakley had 60 yards. Get 2 tight end sets in there. Other than that, comebacks to Jaron Bradley, Jaron Tibbs. See if they can catch the ball this week. I mean, they caught it last week, but we did have a pretty critical drop pass there
Right.
in the third or fourth quarter. So I'm looking for them to make some more catches today and for Avery to get that ball right on target for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Jace has a big day and if a second receiver can, get 2 or 3 big catches. But you make a good point, utilizing the tight ends and seeing how we're going to get Joe Jackson out in space. Carson Hansen on that fourth down snuck out against Stufflebean last week. We can do that against the North Dakota defense. We need to be able to recognize those things and utilize him as well, instead of just handing the ball off and praying that our offensive line can run over the defensive line, the defensive front.
Chris Klieman is 5-0 against FCS teams, like I mentioned.
Yes.
He's not going to overlook this matchup.
No.
Expect surgical execution, especially
Yes.
in the first quarter, to set the tone,
See.
and likely to lean on scripted drives and early defensive pressure to rattle North Dakota's rhythm. Unfortunately, scripted.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the long scripts, but I think you should always have your third and fourth and short plays ready to go. 10 or 15 of those lined up in order
Yes.
of priority. Obviously, you should have a couple special teams plays lined up too if you get in that sort of situation. That should all be predetermined, and if it's not ready to go. That's poor coaching. But the first drive of the game, maybe have a choose your own adventure. Start with this play, and based on the result, we're going this way, plan B or plan C, and you just kind of build a pyramid down for that first drive to manage it, wisely, and then of course overcome any of the stress and pressure you're facing in the moment as you're watching the play clock tumble down. But then when you get into the second, third, fourth quarter, especially in the second half, the script's out the window, and now you're in the moment. You have to be a good play caller on the fly. And that needs to happen. We need to see improvement in that department today from Matt Wells.
And when you say the script is thrown out the door, I think it's thrown out the door for that, long script, like for your drives. But for third and fourth down, you still need to have those plays set up. And that's exactly what I think Campbell did last week and what he had ready and what he did better than, Chris Klieman last week.
Yeah, there's such a wide breadth of possibilities by the time you get to the third quarter that you just really have to have a few ideas in mind for whether you're playing it from ahead, behind, close game, big lead, big, way behind. You gotta have a kind of a big picture scheme in mind to adjust in the third and fourth quarter. And if you're not ready for that, it's going to snowball on us real quick with that offensive play calling.
All
Not
right.
in a good way. Not in a good way. We need to go in the right direction.
Speaking of offensive play calling, I'll move on here to our next point: situational play calling and game flow control. Klieman may use tempo shifts to control momentum, especially if the crowd gets restless early.
No booing in the bill. Don't do that. Don't boo your team. Come on.
Dylan Edwards will not be returning, so we cannot expect more outside zone or screen plays to stretch the defense unless that's going to Devon Rice, which I liked what I saw out of Devon Rice. Maybe he put in a lot of work this week. I think maybe we could see him taking on some of that workload. Got anything on that?
No rebuttal on that. It reminded me of the defensive player, but we're not the defense yet, that made the
Nope.
the corner blitz sack last week.
So I think if K-State builds a lead, just look for us to chew the clock, protect Avery Johnson to avoid any late game drama here.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw in some play action on early downs if we're cruising down the field and we're somewhere in the midfield.
And what we want to happen is my prediction, well, I'll do predictions later, but what we want to happen, obviously, is to have our second string in by the end of the third.
Yes, sir.
All right, a little bit on North Dakota, new coaching. Eric Schmidt is stepping in as their head coach,
Debut.
and they retained offensive coordinator Isaac Freutche.
We'll just call him Isaac. Coach Isaac, OC.
They're gonna lean on continuity. They do have a returning quarterback and running back duo, Zalbarth and Seidel,
That'll help him bridge the gap.
and 5 linemen. So this is a team that they're picked seventh in the Missouri Valley, which honestly the Missouri Valley is the best conference in the FCS, and they're
The Valley of Death.
kind of getting some top 25 love, but it's FCS, right? Their shining moment last year was they did beat Montana, and Montana ended up playing in the national championship at the FCS level.
When I mentioned the Valley of Death, and you said something about a shining moment, it's not basketball season yet. All right.
One shining moment.
You think the Shockers regret going to the American Conference? I'd rather see them in the Valley. This is not about basketball. It's not about basketball. It's about North. Holy moly!
Oh,
That was
got out a little bit there too. Bring the thunder.
wow. It's not about basketball. It's football season. God agrees. You all right, Glenn? You okay down there, man?
I had more time to edit. I'd throw in a lightning bolt right there.
Boom! It's not about basketball. North Dakota. They're the Hawks. They got a returning OC named Coach Isaac. They got a returning quarterback. Who cares?
And running back. And
don't
5
care.
linemen. 5
I really
linemen.
don't. I don't care. All right, I don't care. They're FCS. I do not care. I don't care about recruiting rankings. I don't care about preseason. I do not care about FCS non-conference opponents in September, late August. I don't care. I just want us to go out and pound these guys into the dirt, the pebbles, whatever.
Into the limestone.
Yeah, well, that's unnecessary roughness. Man. That's 15. Take them back.
Just expect short passes from them, some zone runs. They're going to try to neutralize our speed.
Good luck.
And they're going to try to avoid turnovers, but I don't think that's going to happen today.
Good luck. They're going to need it.
All right, I got a question for you. Best position groups. Benny.
Yep. Best position groups today for us
is the wide receiver core the most dangerous unit after combining for 188 yards and 2 TDs last week.
Are we talking whole team or are we just talking offense?
Just offense right now.
Is the wide receiver unit the most dangerous? No, it's the tight ends today especially. Yes, look for them to have a big day, a couple touchdowns out of the tight ends.
Not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say on his last college game day.
My bad.
I'm going to go with the wide receiver core, Ben. We're going
You got your boys on the edges. Back them up.
We're going for over 250 today.
250.
Jace over 100.
Whoop, whoop.
Bradley over 100.
Yes, sir.
Tibbs over 50.
You sound like a degenerate on Prize Picks.
Sterling
Taking all
Lockett.
the overs. What?
Sterling Lockett.
Yeah.
Over 1,300,214.
Wow. Wow. He's going to return some kicks today.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's put him on kickoff return, too. What are we doing?
Yeah, please. But yeah, I see our wide receiver core doing well. I see Avery Johnson throwing for some deep bombs today, especially to Jace Brown. Jace Brown's way too quick. His route running is way too good. He's going to blow past these guys. And then I'm hoping one of the other Jaron Tibbs or Jaron Bradley or Jerron Tibbs, can break out for a big one as well. Like, I think it was Bradley last week that broke out for that 65-yarder.
Was it? I think it was Bradley. You might be right. It was one of those two guys, but I'm just trying to forget that. I hope those guys get a couple of catches, like you said, 2, 3, 4 apiece, and see what they can do. See if they can get out some yak in open space.
All right, the secondary had 6 pass breakups and 2 forced fumbles. Are they the backbone of the defense?
Yeah, for sure. Those front 3, 4, 5 rotating in and out. Yeah, definitely. That's what kept us in the game last week. And that is, I think, the strength of our defense and maybe the strength of our team right now. So I'm looking for those guys to continue to improve and continue to have big days. They got a little gas against Carson Hansen there in the fourth quarter last week, but I don't look for that to happen again. I don't think that's going to happen again. And I'm looking forward to seeing those guys perform.
All right. So turnover and yardage predictions. K-State lost 2 fumbles last week. Do you expect cleaner ball security or more growing pains?
Well, I would hope so, because if not, you're going to hear some of those boos, especially if it happens 2 or 3 times. I don't expect any turnover on downs. So we had 5 turnovers last week. It says 2 in the box score. But make no mistake, that was -3. And today we need to go +3. We need to even that out.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see Joe Jackson and Devon Rice and how they split carries, because Joe Jackson did have that turnover, and maybe if he turns the ball over this game, you may see more Devon Rice, because I liked what I saw from him coming in on the spot. He looks like he's going to be pretty good. He's a little like Darren Sproles-esque. He looked kind of like short and stout, man. So we'll see. I want Joe to do well. I want him to really be explosive in this offense.
Joe Jackson. Touchdown. No fumbles. Touchdown.
Is that your prediction? Touchdown for Joe, no fumbles?
Yeah, he's going to score a touchdown. Then he's going to do a drop kick extra point. Yep, that's my bold bingo card prediction.
Bold and daring.
I'll be waiting to hit a bingo on that one for centuries, probably.
Ron Prince would probably have him do something like
Let
that.
him drop kick the extra point. Doug Flutie Flakes.
All right. How many total yards do the Cats rack up? Can they crack 400 after posting 383 versus Iowa State? Sorry.
It's a great question. Let's get over 500.
And
why shouldn't we be over 500 against North Dakota?
so I'm going to go, speaking of Ron Prince, I'm going to piggyback off this. I have a bold prediction for the season. Avery Johnson.
Very daring.
Avery Johnson in at least one game this season will have over 500 total yards himself.
I like it.
Himself.
I think he should get 300 passing, 100 rushing, and another 100 on kick returns.
I was thinking more of 400 passing and 100 rushing.
Line Avery up back there on kick return, man. Let's do it. And we'll put Sterling Lockett right next to him.
That'd be nuts.
Why not? I know why not, obviously. But
all right, let's get to the defense.
I may be dumb, but I'm not that stupid. I know what he wants.
To the defense.
Yeah, you're crazy, man.
Too crazy with your
daring, man.
1,300,214.
It's a lot of yards.
Passing yards in one game.
That's a lot.
All right, defensive aggression and turnover creation.
Yes, sir.
The Wildcats had 4 sacks and 6 pass breakups last week.
Right.
We looking for more today?
Yeah, the old homie I mentioned earlier. Remind me of his name. I'm a Fairweather fan, so. No, not Toby. The DB who came from the corner on the sack.
Quay Moss?
Yeah, Quay. There you go. Quay. Let's look for Quay to have another big day.
Speaking of Quay, he had an interview after the game, and he was upset with himself. He was holding himself accountable, which I really like to see out of one of those guys that is a little younger. And he said he was really hyped up to be playing in front of this crowd in Manhattan. So let's show him what we got out there. Let's get loud for him, for our defense. Let's bring out the mob.
Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out, Quay. Hey, nothing to be ashamed of, man. You're hyped up. We need that mob mentality. Keep bringing it. I'd rather see guys make mistakes because they're too hyped than make mistakes because they're too scared. So be hyped, not scared.
All right, defensive coordinator Candyman.
The Clandy man can.
Is he going to dial up blitzes early to test North Dakota's O-line?
Maybe on 3rd and long on the first few drives, but I would doubt it if it was 3rd and 3, 4. But we'll see. He'll mix in a few things, but he's not going to show a lot of his cards today. No, we did show some cards last week, and they worked, but not this week.
And are we going to disguise our coverages to bait their returning QB into risky throws?
Are you talking about Rashard Bateman? We're going to bait him into some risky throws? I don't know. Those Hawks, they might try to fly down the field, and if they do, I expect your boy VJ to come up and take one the other way.
We will be the ball hawks today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to some betting and spread talk.
Oh, I love it. I'm a degenerate for sure when it comes to gambling. They send me those emails all the time. Like, are you sure you're okay? Call this number or something. I don't know. One time they sent it to me and I actually, they gave me a free bet and I won. So maybe they're the ones with the problem. Prize Picks and all these other degenerate apps. What do you got today, Alex?
Tell us. Spread is negative 28.5. Cats by 28.5.
I love how they throw that extra half in there because they know that 28's 4 scores.
So are you going
7 years ago?
Are you going to take the 28.5, or does North Dakota's returning QB and running back duo keep it close?
No, man. Why would I take plus 28.5 on that? Do I want to root against my own team? Of course not. I don't care if I'm a homer, which I am actually a homer. All right. That's my middle name. But we're taking the Cats minus 28.5 all day. And if they don't cover that, next 10 weeks going to be rough.
All right. And the over-under 57.5. I'm going to go ahead and take the over there. Way over.
Yeah, we'd give up 10 points, but if we put up 55, we're still over. Plus 50 on our side and then 7 or 10 on their side.
All right, does K-State's defense keep it low scoring, or do we see fireworks?
I do not expect a lot of fireworks from the North Dakota offense. I expect a lot of turnovers. And we do expect fireworks from the K-State offense.
We see drones. We expect drones for after the show, not fireworks. Other than the W fireworks.
Are you sure you're seeing drones? Or is that something that somebody gave you in the parking lot?
No.
Okay. It's drones.
All right, bold predictions and final score. Are you buying the 28.5 spread?
Yes. Let's buy it. I'm taking it. Minus 28.5. Cats by 90. Cats over 50, to be honest. And North Dakota 10 or less.
What is your score line?
I'm going to go Cats 55-10 today.
55-10.
Yes, sir. 55-10.
All right, and then over under 2.5 total touchdowns from the wide receiver trio of Brown, Bradley, and Tibbs.
2.5. Under. Tight ends are going to get the touchdowns.
Not so fast, my friend. Over. Jace Brown.
Big on the wide receivers.
Bradley.
It's going to take a Jace Brown big day and one from one of the other guys.
All right, what's your score line if Avery Johnson throws for 300 plus?
55-10.
Still?
Yes.
All right, so for my predictions, I am going to go Avery Johnson over 300 yards passing. I am going to take the Cats over, or the Cats going to cover the spread. by a lot. Big.
Terrence
then my
Newman.
final
Gonna need
score-
Terrence Newman today. No, we don't
My
need him.
final score is going to be 60-10.
Yeah, it's a little excessive. I think Avery's going to go for the low twos, 230, 240. Not a high volume, 15 to 20 attempts, maybe 8 to 12 catches, but a couple big ones. So let's put Avery at 12 for 17 and 227 yards. 2 touchdowns. 1 to a tight end, 1 to Jace.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
Pretty short pod here, so that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pregame. What's the vibe in Manhattan? Are fans expecting a statement win or just a clean bounce back?
Yeah, I think the vibe in Manhattan should be statement win, and I think it starts with that defensive front. We need the fans to be enthusiastic and loud. There has been some complacency, I feel, or maybe it's just because we sit in section 21 sometimes with the old alums, but there's been a little complacency that I feel is kind of simmering inside the fortress, and that needs to go away because we could very easily be Nebraska. That'd be 4-9, not 9-4. So let's get hype and let's get it back to the the 1.0 levels that we need, or the even the 2.0s before 2014.
Before 2015. 2014 was still pretty good.
Well, yeah, on or before 2014.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the mentality is a statement win. I think that the players need to come out with fire. I think they need to hit these guys. I think they need to not care about their feelings
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
I think they need to just, like you said, shove them into the dirt, put up 60. If we put up 60, that would be great. It's probably going to be more like 48 or 50, I'm hoping.
Let's hope it's over 40.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
It's over 40.
Not. That's bad signs, red flags.
And we need to see that fire from Chris Klieman as well.
Right. And, defense, give the fans a reason to get up and get loud and be excited. Force some turnovers.
Right. The reason
big plays.
The reason I'm high on these wide receivers and Avery Johnson is because we have Matt Wells, and I think he's just going to open it up today and throw the ball.
Well,
anything else?
So. Yeah, if he throws the ball a lot, then let's make sure we keep throwing it when we have 3 consecutive plays over 10 yards passing.
Yeah, none of those third down 3 runs that we can't convert if they're stopping us, but I don't see that being the case today.
Correct. Well, I think that's about it. That probably wraps it up. This is just week 1. We're going to get it back on track. We've been a losing program now for 1 week, and that ends today. All right, we're going to turn this around, back on the winning track, stack the dubs.
All right, let's go, Cats.
Ema, brothers.
This concludes your Paw'dCats Sports Pregame. Tonight, 6 p.m. at Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
See!
Go Cats.
Go Cats. See you after the game.